The turtle hermit's alive? Is that actually a thing? So the cavern looks a lot different, the coloring here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Some psychedelics? Yeah, take some character notes. As in moral character, not like as in how a TV character should act. Oh. His voice is like a little deeper or something. It's a little dangerous. Alright. Looks delicious. Yep. He's walking too fast to be the real one, too. Show him a dirty magazine, see how he responds. That's how you can tell. What? Creepy stuff.
Goku.
Yeah, justifiably freaked out there, buddy. Dude, this is how they get you. Entice you with food and pleasant faces. So creepy. Good job, buddy. Good job, buddy. What now? Oh, nice. He used a feint there. He's got his own struggle going on. Oh. Oh, come on. So the second time in this episode, he's accidentally fallen to a story-relevant place. Oh, what was that voice? Oh, he's getting an offer. I really like, because these are tropes, you know, that you've seen in other media, obviously. It's fun, it's interesting. I like it. I think it's really well done in this situation. Alright, so he's gonna prove himself his moral worth for the sacred water or something, right? It was an illusion? What is... Oh. Bam. Nailed it. Like a little teapot. Labeled sacred. Alright. Oh. Didn't expect that. Obviously we've seen that before, you know, a test of your... Here it's vitality, but usually it's your strength of character or something like that. Oh, interesting. 14? What? Oh, that's not good. It could just be arsenic. Yeah, you've got a point there, Cave Kid. Consistent with his character. I appreciate it. Whoa! He just went for it first? Oh, it's down! Oh, getting the flashbacks. There's K9. There's the dragon guy. Shenlong, that was his name. Oh man, these cutaways. Is this an extra long episode? It seems like an extra long episode. appreciate that, yeah. Oh, that's nice. Abolish the word peace. Oh my gosh! It's the Sith! Just the forever purge. Oh, lunch. Have we seen her back to the other one in a long time? I think she's been that one for a long time. Probably. There it is. Alright. So, I thoroughly enjoyed that freaking episode. I like the sub-labyrinth and cave thing. You know, it's one of those ways that you can incorporate some idea of the inner psychology of your protagonist in a fun way. I think that's kind of one of those struggles that's more fun because you get to have action beats, you get to do fun stuff with, you know, locations and what's going on there, but you're still exploring the character, and it has this kind of metaphorical weight to it instead of just the basic empirical, okay, this is the thing that's happening in the story, you know. So it's always fun to see that kind of thing. One of my favorite quotes of all time is actually within the last couple of days I ran into this. And I've read this guy a million times, but I didn't remember the specific quote. But it was, if a man wishes to become a hero, then the serpent must first become a dragon. Otherwise, he lacks his proper enemy. And that was Friedrich Nietzsche. Anybody who hasn't read Nietzsche, yeah, the vast majority of the population is not going to understand how unbelievably brilliant this guy is and what important things he had to say. But anybody who has any interest in trying to be as great as one can be, which should be your primary interest, then you need to read Friedrich Nietzsche, and you're going to need to read it a few times to really understand what's going on there. But anyway, that quote, he talks about how if you want to become a hero, then the serpent that you're fighting must first become a dragon. You are defined by the things that challenge you. And now that Goku, it's so weird to try to tie it directly back into this little cartoon show, but I think it actually has much more import than we want to give it, just because it's colorful and cool to look at. But the fact that Goku has had a challenge now, and that's his entire character is based on this idea of challenging himself to the utmost, 100%, to make himself as strong as humanly possible. And I think that ethic should be the number one motivating factor of all of us. So it's incredible to see it reprised in such a really accessible, cool way. But in this particular case, he had to deal with something that was internal. You know, he's fought a whole bunch of external opponents at this point, and he ran into one that is too much for him, so he had to fight something internally to be able to get over it. So I think that quote just really encompasses that idea so incredibly well, and this show is really exploring these ideas in a way that's still accessible to, you know, young boys that were primarily the people watching this, but young girls too, I'm sure now. But it expresses this idea in such a way that it is so well done and interesting, and I really appreciate that. So sorry to go on forever on that one. Usually I do a wrap up and it's only, you know, a couple minutes or something, or it's like 30 seconds or something. But I think that's a really interesting turn in the way that they are managing this, and we got to really build up this conflict between these two characters. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you know, I used to think that every work of art was an enclosed universe, and that you have to look at it that way, and you have to look at all the merits or the demerits of that work as a closed universe. But the more that I've been kind of studying storytelling, and especially ancient storytelling, you know, when it comes to Hans Christian Andersen or the Grimm's fairy tales, Japanese fairy tales, or just mythology, especially Norse mythology recently. But the more that you look into these things, you can see that they are really important reflections of the kinds of archetypes that have motivated us for centuries, for millennia, that are deep within our history and are so important to the way that we function and the way that we've gotten to this place after so long, the way that we survived and got to where we are. And I know this is going way too deep for for this freaking anime cartoon that we're talking about here, But I'm loving this damn thing. So I think I get to watch another one, don't I? Am I 3 deep already? But anyway, I don't say it enough. I really appreciate you guys watching this thing. I absolutely love the engagement that I get in the comments. It's so awesome. It's so awesome to be able to get to have these discussions about these shows and to get to know a lot of the people who are watching these with me. So I really appreciate it. And yeah, so we'll see you on the next one.